A memo is one of the most common documents that you will encounter in the workplace. Whether you write it using a formal memo template and attach it to an email, or if you use the email as a delivery for the memo content, the document is written in the same manner. For this unit, you will be creating a memo using one of the prompts listed in the assignment details link. You will be writing the memo to a certain audience asking permission to take professional leave for various reasons. The purpose of this video is to analyze a memo in terms of its format, purpose, content, and organization, so that you can use it as a guide when you complete your assignment. Let's begin with the format. As you can see, memos are all set up in the same manner. Most businesses will have memo stationery on which to write your memo. Remember, a memo is used within a company, so the memo template does not necessarily need the business name and address, as it would in a letterhead. The logo is usually enough, along with the word memo or memorandum. The next section of the memo includes the information about the sender, the person who will receive the memo, the subject, and the date. All memos follow this format: to, from, date, subject, which could also be said as RE. Some memos may have a line for a copy, CC. There is usually some kind of line or graphic separating the information from the rest of the page. Remember that a memo does not need a greeting, as does a letter. The to line serves that function. Also, you don't need to sign the memo at the end as you do a letter. If the memo is to be delivered as a hard copy via interoffice mail, you can initial the memo right next to your name. As with any document produced in the workplace, you want to make sure the reader understands your purpose immediately. So the first paragraph should be a short purpose statement, giving all the pertinent details. This should read like the lead in the newspaper story. You want to tell the who, what, when, where, and how in 1 or 2 sentences. Remember, you are asking for permission to do something. You do not want to tell the reader what you will be doing. You are asking to make sure that your tone is not demanding. Let's take a look at the example. Notice that the purpose of this memo is stated in the first sentence. The prompt reads that you are asking for 4 days leave, 2 days in 1 week and 2 days in another week. The reader only needs the dates to make the decision, so you don't waste time explaining how this time will be divided. If the reader looks at the calendar, he or she will know the dates include a weekend. You do not need to go into detail about what you will be doing while you're there, at least in the first paragraph. You want to tell when you will be gone, where you are going, and why you are going. Try to do so in 1 or 2 sentences. Make sure the reader knows what action you are wanting him or her to take. The second paragraph, let's take a look at that now. So in the second paragraph, you are going to be developing the ideas created in the first paragraph. You want to explain why it is important that you take the time off. You want to connect with the reader by using the pronouns you and I. You want to show the reader how granting this request will help the business. Use logos as you outline the reasons why this trip is worthwhile. Your third paragraph should include more details to support the reasons given in the second paragraph. This paragraph would outline what you will be doing while you are away. If you are attending a conference, you would list some of the sessions you will be attending. If you were going on a business trip to visit a client, you would list what you would be presenting or whom you would be visiting. In this example, the writer gives the titles of specific sessions she will be attending at the conference. Don't give unnecessary information, but give the reader enough so that he or she can make an informed decision regarding your request. Now, at some point in the memo, you need to inform the reader of the costs, if any, that are involved. You can do this in a separate paragraph, or you can put it into your final paragraph as part of your conclusion. You want to tell the reader when you need to have an answer, reiterate what you want him or her to do, and thank him or her for taking the time to read your memo. So, please feel free to study this memo example and use it as a sample as you complete your assignment.